Turns out, and I don't know if the word to use here is well-intentioned or not, but there is a new system being rolled out in family medicine clinics, and it's going to take a while to roll out as well, but it's already there now for, I guess, medical clinics to be able to get to use, or at least get used to. Turns out it's more pain, more problem than it's worth, at least according to our next guest, Dr. Michael Kalin, a family physician and director of the Kildare Family Medicine Group. Dr. Kalin, thanks for coming back on. I know we spoke a while ago on a different subject. I'm trying to read this and understand what's going on. The idea here, as I said, seems like it was well-intentioned, right? This is to get AI, artificial intelligence, to be able to at least, when people are first trying to access service, screen them to direct them to the right kind of service, right? Explain how this would work.
Sure. Well, thanks for having me. So there's a program called Vitre, which was purchased by the Quebec government about a year and a half ago for $40 million. And the plan is the government is mandating that every family medicine clinic must deploy this system. So this goes across all the territories. So every family medicine clinic, if you want to be part of the program, if you want to receive funds, you must use this.
Okay.
And when a patient calls, or if they come in person, or they send a message to the clinic for an appointment, they must be triaged with this AI, which will ask a series of questions. And at the end, the AI will make a recommendation over who you should see. And it's probably not going to be your family doctor. And it will direct you somewhere, and you have an opportunity to accept it or not. There are a lot of problems with it. Certainly it's time-consuming and very frustrating. And the advice is not always sound.
All right, well, hold on a second. In theory, as I said, if you're going to be screened initially and there's a determination made as to who you should see next, that sounds like a good idea. Why is that not in and of itself a good idea?
It's a great idea. I think every clinic operator would welcome a system that will improve efficiency and decrease cost. The system we have doesn't do that. That's the problem.
What does it do? How does it work now?
Well, I'll give you an example. A patient walks into the clinic and they say that they might have a UTI, a urinary tract infection. Well, in front of a busy waiting room, the secretary then launches into a bunch of questions. Tell me, do you have an indwelling catheter? How many partners have you had in the last month? And so on and so on. In this particular case, at the end, Navik, the program, said, we'd like you to leave and call 811 instead. It's absurd.
Okay, again, I'm trying to understand this. You're describing this being done in an actual family medicine clinic, that this thing speaks to you? Is that what happens?
Well, actually, it's neither artificial nor intelligent. Right now, it's a choose-your-own mystery. It's when a patient comes in, we have to read a script, and we have to pay our secretaries to manually input the answers. Oh. And then the system will then come up with further questions. You'll say, you have toe pain. It will say, what part of your body? Your head, your arm, your leg? It's absurd. And then at the end, there'll be a recommendation. We recommend you go see a pharmacist. Well, I think if people are coming to the clinic, they want to see a doctor or a nurse practitioner.
Yeah. Did you have, or did family medicine clinics not have any input in this into its development to begin with?
The program was bought by the government, and it is now part of the GMF contract. We have no choice but to use it. And don't get me wrong, there's great potential here. And certainly, as I said earlier, we welcome a system that will improve efficiency. But to drive people away from their doctor, we had somebody call the other day. They wanted to book an appointment for their 18-month-old. After all the questions, the system said, go call the CLSC instead. The family doctor is here. We give the shots here. It's absurd to send somebody away. It's almost like we're making it more difficult. And of course, the phone times are taking a lot longer. People will be on hold. And this isn't just my experience. I speak to my colleagues. There's tremendous frustration across the network.
Okay, I don't mean to belabor the point. I'm just trying to understand how this works. Let's say I want to get treated or want to see a physician, right? What's my first point of contact here? I call it, for example, let's say I call your Kildare Family Medical. I call you in the office. Someone answers, you have a receptionist or somebody, administrator answering the phone, right?
Exactly. So if you call, secretary will answer the phone and will say, can we ask why you're calling? You may answer, I have back pain. The secretary then has to input back pain into this navigator.
Oh, I see.
And then it will create a series of questions, which you will be asked, which can take a minute or 5 minutes or 7 minutes. Right. And at the end, we'll come up with a conclusion. You should see a pharmacist within 24 hours.
Right, understood. What was up until now, how would this have been handled? How would it have been handled any differently?
Well, I would hope that if you called your doctor's office and you said you had horrible back pain, your doctor would see you right away. And if the doctor couldn't, you'd hope that the secretary would be mindful enough to speak to somebody to get you an urgent appointment.
Right.
We've taken away the humanity here and the critical thinking. There's no more this personal touch. Sure, it will work great in a call center where you don't know anybody, and if you're going to send it off to outsource it to another place. But we're talking about family clinics where we take care of families and individuals who we've known for decades, and yet we're taking this away from the individuals, the reasoning, the thinking, and instead we're replacing with a mindless AI that does not have the ability to learn or to adapt. I think this program should be optional, it should be developed, and we should come back to it when it's actually ready to make things better.
When are you forced to implement this system?
Well, as part of the contract, the GMF contract, we have a date when we have to go through the training and we have to deploy it. Happens to be my clinic had to deploy it this week. Other GMFs have already implemented it last month. Some are coming next month. So it is a gradual rollout. There are other regions that have been using it for longer than us. Mm-hmm. And I can tell you, speaking to my colleagues, they are frustrated. I hear about secretaries just finding ways to get around it. They're all trying to find ways to cheat the system. This isn't the way we should be booking appointments. Let's do it the right way.
What do you mean cheating the system by doing what?
Well, because secretaries have learned that if you input one entry, it will send you to the emergency room. I'll give you an example. I've had patients come in and say that they had to lie because if they said they had chest pain, the system says go to the emergency room. But the patient says, I've had chest pain for 6 months. I don't need to go to the emergency room. I want to see you. So secretaries are learning that they can't actually put down verbatim what a patient is saying so that they can actually see their doctor. Wow. They're calling the doctor's office because they want to see a doctor.
Wow. Just to be able to see the doctor, having to find a way to navigate around the system so that, eventually, what does it take to give you an answer about, yes, you should make an appointment with your doctor?
Well, at the end, unfortunately, the patient can refuse. And all this data is being sent to Santé Quebec, which makes us wonder, what is the goal? What is the purpose? If we look at this in light of Bill 2, I think it's ominous. I think the government is perhaps using and accumulating this information to police us in the future. Is that really what they're going to do? I don't know. But I would love to believe they're using this data to make it better for patients. And we haven't seen that yet.
Police you how? They want to know how many people have back pain versus how many people have foot pain? What's the issue here?
I think the issue is to see how quickly we see people, because the navigator comes up with the timeline by which we have to see people. If you say you have back pain, the system may say you need an appointment within 8 hours, and then they're going to start the stopwatch to see if doctors actually comply. There's a matter of confidentiality with what's being done with this data, and I think it needs to be transparent and done properly.
And you say you've talked to other people who are being forced now or have already used this, and they share that same opinion?
Universally. There's no question that it has made our jobs more difficult. Look, if there was a chat box and it answered the questions for us in place of staff, that would be something. But we're using our own staff. We had 15,000 phone calls last month. Think how much longer it's going to be for patients when every call takes 2, 3, 4 times as long.
I have a dumb question here, Dr. Kalin. You mentioned the word chatbot. It's like everywhere you go now online, everyone, they're ubiquitous now, right? They're everywhere. Yet in the healthcare system, they've not devised a way to do this. They actually make you talk to a live person, which just takes longer at the end of the day. Is that the suggestion?
Well, it exists in other jurisdictions. I know that there are telemedicine companies that use them very well, and there are very good triaging programs out there. It just seems that in Quebec, we bought a system that's neither artificial nor intelligent, as I said, and we just need to up our game. Yeah. And, it's not quite click navig yet. It's a $40 million investment, and I hope it will pan out. But I think that some people have to be accountable to this. I'd love for people in Santé Quebec to explain what the purpose and what the plan is with the system. Final
question. Have you spoken to someone in Santé Quebec? Do they know the situation or the problems this is causing?
I know that I personally spoken to the developers and expressed my concerns, and I'm trying to get them to change things. But no, I have not approached Santé Quebec themselves, and hopefully somebody will listen to this program.
Dr. Kalin, always appreciate the time. It's frustrating, I'm sure, for people listening to this to think, instead of moving forward, we seem to be working backwards here in the healthcare system for no apparent reason and spending more and more money doing it. I appreciate the time. I wish you the best.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Take care. Isn't that kind of crazy? But he's right, isn't he? I mean, there are chatbots everywhere. Any site you want to go on to, right? That first option is a chatbot, and many of them are actually quite good. And they're getting better all the time. But here, you call up and they have to go through the receptionist, the secretary, whoever, has to go through all the items one at a time and then input them into the system. What? Who developed this? The same people who did SatClick? I mean, this just doesn't make any sense at all.
Canadian women are looking for more out of themselves, their businesses, their elected leaders, and the world around them.
And that's why we're thrilled to introduce the Honest Talk podcast.
I'm Jennifer Stewart.
And I'm Catherine Clark. And in this podcast, we interview Canada's most inspiring women.
Entrepreneurs, artists, athletes, politicians, and newsmakers, all at different stages of their journey.
So if you're looking to connect, then we hope you'll join us.
Listen to the Honest Talk podcast on iHeartRadio or wherever you listen to your podcasts.